Hello, this is Valdemar Januszczak, art critic, producer and presenter of documentaries. Thanks for watching Perspective, YouTube's home for classical art.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them.
Straight up, it's the most ambitious theatre festival that anyone's ever done. It's one of the biggest theatre festivals of all time. It's a really simple concept. It's all the plays of Shakespeare, each one in a different language.
To walk onto that stage with a bunch of Maori has been a dream of mine, and it's going to come true. And we're going to walk on with a piece that I'm confident will do well, and we're going to be fine ambassadors until the after party, and then we'll just party. I adore Shakespeare. Shakespeare is the reason that I chose to be in this game. That was a pretty amazing experience. I worked on Troilus and Cressida when I was at drama school, and often the play that you do at drama school becomes your favourite play, and it was certainly mine. When we got it, I went, oh my God, that's going to be a tough play to do. And I meant that, and it's going to be a tough translation compared to A Midsummer Night's Dream.
I'd never done Shakespeare before. I used to hate it at school because I couldn't understand it, and I still can't really.
I play two characters in the play. I play Are Kahanara, which is a spinster. She is Kaheda's servant or confidant. And she's a spinster, she's a gossip queen, which I love. I love playing with Are Kahanara, but I also play Helen of Troy, Helena. She was a queen, and now she's been stolen by Paris and swept off her feet and brought to Troy.
For this play, going into Wānanga was, I know it was one of Rachel's wants, her desires, was she really wanted that boot camp Wānanga style to really ensconce us in Te Ao Māori.
You all look really great, fantastic.
Even though it's Shakespeare, and even though the reo is Māori and the references and the kiwaha are all distinctly Māori, grappling with this idea of text for 2.5 hours, for many of us, was huge.
For example, Anaha's got a scene where he goes up to Roy here and he says, hey bro, why aren't you out on the field? You know what I mean? Like, it can have that kind of casual, contemporary feel to it if you want. Make it real for yourself.
When we first got here, I found out that just about everyone had the same fear as me. And I was going around anyway before we had the meetings going, are you scared? Are you scared, bro? Are you scared? And everyone was. So for different reasons, but all of us pretty, matuku about it, but yeah, pretty scared, bro.
Fear is a good place to be. Fear is about the unknown, and it's also, it's something because you've never experienced it before, I completely understand. I have every faith that this is going to be a great production, and you guys are going to be absolutely magnificent, I have no doubt.
At the beginning, everything was just like, damn, what am I doing here? When I first got the script, I read it, I was like, hey, what the hell's going on here? And then I get the Maori text, and then I'm like, hey, what's going on here too?
It's a great opportunity for a company to have an opportunity to work with the writer and get the writer's insight. And so we see you not as the translator, we see you as the writer of this piece.
Ki mai a Rachel te atanei a koe tahi o koutou e mataku ana e wehi ana. A ka te kua wanu tēnā.
When we actually sat down and sat with Te Haumihiata, she just brought a new light, you know. I can understand the real context that she's bringing through, you know, way better than when I read the English.
It's like ancient Maori language, and I kind of, you know, the structure of the deal was there, but I mean, there's certain words that I'd never heard before.
The style of language that I've used is based on laments, I ngā kuia o mua. That's exactly how they would have done it. Kei roto I ngā mōtea te ana, I've got tūpato pērā, a ngā matakete. I've tried to research the language I've used because there are two genres here. There's the genre of war and the genre of emotion, of expressing emotion and love and all that sort of thing. So I've tried to research it as much.
Mā te wahine, mā te whenua, ka ngaro te tangata. And that's exactly what this play is about, you know. Helen, koia te wahine, you know, and the whenua, well, that was Troy, and a whole lot of people died.
It's great.
Right from the offset, you know, the first directing conversation I had with Rawiri, I said, I want Māori like me to walk into the theatre and know what's going on. I want them to sit down and watch this play and know exactly what's going on, even if they don't have the deal.
Right up the front here, when you're giving your final rousing words there.
So if somebody comes to push on you, you've got solid strength, right? Push on you like that, you're solid, you feel solid, right? Okay, right? So now with our stance like this, now, see this one here, let's go down to a low one, just put the foot out there like this.
When Rawiri first asked me to direct Troilus and Cressida, I said I need a co-director, and I need somebody who has, you know, amazing kapahaka skills and all of Maorako, and who knows that world very, very well. And I suggested Wetini because I realised that that energy and that wonderful choreography that was going on in there is something that eventually I would love to work with in theatre.
They do the structure, so like this.
Wetini was here for the first couple of days. He welcomed everyone and he just put it out there to say that because he's busy with other mahi, that he is unable to commit to this wonderful project, and hence he asked me to, if I was able to step forward into his position. Take it back to the front. So then we go back to the point where we started from.
So the smack is at 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, boom.
Down, back. The play is all about the styles. You've got two iwi, if you want to put it that way. You know, you've got the Trojans over here, then you've got the Greeks over here. So you could pretty much say, oh well, we've got Te Wakahui over here and we've got Te Matarai over here. You know, two different styles, two different tikanga. You know, but I'll be able to bring that to the table, and hopefully with the dialogue and the script, you know, I'll be just using lots of our choreography, especially in our whakaeke when we do the prologue. You know, I've got wonderful ideas of using te hangaia, kurutob, maybe some charges in there to create that atmosphere, because the whole story is all about war, falling in love, lots of tragedies, but you know, tātou te iwi Māori, we've got that in our motiate. We have that in our history and our stories. So what I'll be doing is I'll be reflecting back to all those, the stories of our tipuna, and then just going to try and bring it back in stage through this play. Yeah.
Shakespeare is a great student of life, and what he studies in Troilus and Cressida is the stupidity of war.
Each one of us, in collaboration with the others, have to tell the story, have to make the connection with the audience somehow, and it's somehow got to be within those words, and those words are in Maori.
My reo was of a beginner's intermediate level. I can act. I've never been to drama school or anything like that. It's just all been not shy and learning from other people, you know. So coming here, I was aware that this will be the biggest challenge I will ever face in my life.
You want to improve your reo, don't wait till you come here. It's what you do when you leave here that improves your reo. Being with all these tohunga of the reo for a whole week and intensive and thing as it is, doesn't improve your reo 1 inch. It hardly ever does. Unless you leave that kura and then you work on it from the day you leave us until the next time we see you.
It's difficult. It's hard. I can't believe this is what actors go through. I thought it was easy. I don't know if I'm doing good or if I'm doing bad. I'm just trying to get through it at the moment, you know, because Rachel, what's awesome about her, like for me, I've never done this before. And when we have our sessions with her, she breaks everything down. Like we go through subtext, which is the meaning behind what you're saying.
So you're trying to rouse it on one level, and on the other level it's just pure intimidation tactics. This is where these two, that's why they've been...
I wanted both Te Roihi and Kahira to have a sense that they weren't quite adults. They were still somewhere in between teenager and adult. I wanted them both to have that quality, and he's a very capable young man, and he is an adult, Kimmel, but when he did the audition, there was something there was an innocence to him that I thought was right for that character.
E papa nātara e te wāhi ngaro, tēnei au te whakatīwhetahia nei.
I don't want to disappoint them because they picked me to play Troilus, and I don't want to be a suck Troilus because that'd just suck.
I'm not strong with Maurako and I'm not strong with choreography. It's like I don't know what I'm doing and I don't want to look silly. But the choreography has been focused on the men at the moment, and it's like, if the women are going to lead, how would it look like if the choreography's been focused mainly on the men?
The women, and there's only 4 of us, even though it seems more when we're on stage, we were feeling left out because we hadn't had time to build that really important working relationship with Jameis, with the boys, and we were doing something that's very masculine in its essence. You know what? I'm not saying that women don't do it, because I know we do. I'm just no good at it. The solution came when Rachel decided, I want this movement that is typically Maori. I want that ihi, that wehi, that wana that comes out in a haka. I want it all the way through. I don't just want it in the beginning at the whakaiki and when there's a haka in the play, because then it looks like tokenism.
1, 2, 3, 4.
With the ladies, it's a bit tricky. because I can. But with the guys, all I'm doing is just giving the basics to ensure that they got the coordination right, that their feet work is working. But with the ladies, it's going to be graceful, but it's going to be more sort of like that regal sit back and then kia tū whakahihi koe.
Cool. Okay. And into position. Patu. Okay. And movement.
I had never had problems with learning lines, but that's because I'm able to think in the language, and I'm not able to do that in this, and so I have to find another way through in order to feel safe enough with the script. And I resort to learning it parrot fashion at first, which has never been my style.
Ki te kore pono,
Sorry. Ki te kore kōrua e pono. Ano?
I was asked if I wanted to have a part, so I thought I'd take that opportunity as well. But yeah, mainly here as a Tonga Pūoro player, yeah, just to add some sort of soundscape and enhance the performance with some Tonga Pūoro.
Involvement in Troilus and Cressida, well, it's been very brief and violent so far. Ironically, I've been had until 10 or 15 years ago a secondary school English teacher for 37 years. And Shakespeare's part of the bag, but this I've found a very tortuous, difficult play of Shakespeare. So, it's called a problematical play, a problem play, and because there are things that are not easily solved and not easily understood. But even as a read-through, I found it tortuous, so God knows what these young people are making of it.
What we quickly realised is that a 9 to 5 rehearsal period wasn't going to work. It wasn't really an option. So we doubled up the days. We worked till about from 9 till about 10 at night.
I've got a fair command of, I'm in, I think, 8 scenes, and I've got a fair command of about 6 of them. And the hardest one for me is going to be the one that I haven't attacked yet, and that's the one with Helen in Paris. Like I said earlier, it's hard for me because it's a different learning system for me. I'm really good at learning lines, and I always have been. But yeah, this has been the biggest challenge lines-wise that I've ever had. And I'm not confident I'll get there yet, but I think that's a normal pattern for me. I think around about this stage I always feel like shit, so I'm hoping it comes through like it mostly does. I'm loving the role of Panatara. I'm loving working with Rachel and with her processes. Most of my stuff is with Kimo, who's flying at the moment, and with Awhina. And it's delightful working with these 2 young finds.
Hey, wari tōna hua, kia kaha koe te roihi, mahia koe tō mahi.
I think it happens to all of us, in different ways. Rawiri struggles with the language. I struggle with staying present and acting where he's really strong and, he can just pick you up straight away. And it's kind of, he's got this energy where you just want to meet.
Ki taku tuara, Ki te teaki, I taku ko. Ai, kia ke rātau anei, ko te hori a kāhira.
I had a great session with Wasi yesterday. I'm a little bit frightened of Wasi, like, you know, he's a little bit older than me, but he's a scary guy. I feel for him at the moment. He's a little bit out because we can't really work on his scenes.
I think that the beauty of the line is ka hore e taia e koe. It's the constant mistake. It's one of those things a lot of people make. At the moment I'm playing and getting away with the kaumātua role. And you know, when you get to my age, you can play a little bit of that to dodge some of this physical stuff.
Didn't we have a break in the E? Remember, because we're making a comparison, eh? Kia nui ake, where's it go?
Kia nui ake tōna ura I te atua.
Kia nui ake tōna uara I te atua. Mana tauatiri. Kia nui ake te uara. I've basically been looking at people's reo, and there's still a little bit of work to do there before we hit the stage tomorrow night. Because the play can stand or fall on the quality of language being spoken, so it's a very big area for us to be concentrating on.
We're not there yet, but it's feeling closer. Yeah, and it's due to everybody's hard work.
Yep. Everybody has done remarkably well to get here, and in the time, yeah, there have been moments when we haven't, some of us may have felt, hey, there's just too much. And it's getting further behind everybody now. I think people are strutting around, and by the time, to me, by the time we polish this thing up and get it to London, they're the fellas who are really going to reap the rewards. This is first night, and we're ready.
Ira! E tū tole wana ngā tū wata o toroi. Hara e nei a ruata nei te aha. Koua koe oma. Waha pōte awa e nei ai koe. Ka whāia koe. Kei pōhe he tia taku mani tā. Ka me uri toma. E te ohi tino te nā kau kei tawe kai te tiri whāia o ia. Hara mai tā. Oi.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's beautiful response and good mahi. We still got a way to go. We still got work to do, but I'm very, very proud right now.
I'm really happy that it's worked here and people have accepted it and like it and are happy with it, because really we're representing all of us.
Everybody that's here tonight has helped our whānau to develop the play, give us a great send-off before we take it to the Globe in London. The home of Shakespeare.
It ain't no fun being a producer when you don't have the budget. And that's how we've rolled, which is incredibly irresponsible of me. And we're in a position now where we have to do a fundraise, and we're we're still really quite short.
$10 now. We're looking for $120. $120, we are on $100.
I didn't tell the cast for ages because I sort of didn't want to. I was in denial.
Rach can't come. Why not? Ah.
Rachel announced to everyone that she's not coming to London. You know, and everyone went, aye. The only one that wasn't going, aye, was Rawiri, because Rawiri knew before.
And the day that she announced it was the day that I announced to the cast that we were going to be late with 1 week's pay. And then she did her thing, and they were all... I was kind of glad as a producer because they had something to be sadder about. But it was a real bummer. I remember after the rehearsal going over to a pub over the road from rehearsal, and some of the cast were over there and they were just bummed out.
But I think surround Panatara, and then you just got to get a way out.
It's awful to be going out without the director. It's like for me to see the hours, the sleepless nights that Rach had, and not be able to see the show in the place that it was destined for, it's really heartbreaking actually.
We're all taken back, and it's a real bummer, you know, because to have her presence around and her vision and everything like that, it just, you know, everyone's, you know, we're sort of like, well, what are we going to do?
It puts a big onus on a young man, on James, and it's going to be more on him than on me. And he has all along been referred to by Rachel as the co-director. And, you know, I'm going to be nervous about my own stuff.
Oh, man. I'm going to tell you a story, yeah? Hey, my bro.
So we did our last minute, because I'm pretty nervous in that, you know, stepping into her role. But what we did is last night I went around to have a meeting with Rach, and then what we did is we put a photo of the Shakespeare, the stage of the globe, so that we could piece out, make sure this person runs this way, entrances from the audience comes this way. So I've got heaps of notes in my bag, and that I can give it out to all the people, you know, for each character and where they got to move and things like that. Because I didn't put as much research into it like Rachel did, so I had to sort of click on it pretty quick. But I think I got all my notes, and we're gonna be sore.
I'm too tired to be excited, to be honest. But yeah, it's well, we're on our way. Yeah.
And how do you think the handover's been from Rachel?
Oh man, that's I've just been on the phone with her now, but the handover is tricky. I would much rather she was there, to be honest. She's not there, and there's nothing we can do about that, so we'll just do it.
So, what you up to, Calvin?
Oh, just checking out the movies.
My man. So, yeah, so great.
Got a mean selection here.
Welcome to England.
That's me.
Jet lag.
Hey, we roll up, right? And all the people that take care of us, they're like, "Yay, we're here!" We're like,
"Yeah." It's a mean buzz to be here. It's the first time I've been away from home, like this far away from home. So it's pretty neat. I think it'll start hitting in tomorrow, kicking in tomorrow when I'm awake properly.
trying to do the plan out the stage, just do a bird's eye view, so I can work out the whakeke, just so we're using the space of the globe. Yeah. So I've got a few ideas, but I just want to make sure it looks mean.
Baby, let's move. What? Can you teach me how to duck? Because all the kids, they love me.
Maintaining that group dynamic is huge, and it's key to performing something as big, as epic as Shakespeare.
So this is Southwark Cathedral, which was Shakespeare's local, basically. And there's a monument to him in here. My kids grew up celebrating Shakespeare's birthday, and so I would read a sonnet or some sonnets. We would cook a meal and eat in the Elizabethan way with our hands, and they'd be able to rip the chicken and eat like Henry VIII did. And we would have dress-ups, Elizabethan dress-ups and things like that. And so that's how they grew up. And when my daughter, Rawiri Paratene, left school and she was a student, and she said to her mates, she said, Shakespeare's birthday was coming up. What's everyone doing? And they said, what? And they go, Shakespeare's birthday, what are we going to do? We're going to go out for dinner, and we're going to do some sonnets. What are we going to do? Where are we going to go? And they all looked at her, and Shakespeare. And she rang home, and I answered the phone, and she goes, Dad, nobody else celebrates Shakespeare's birthday. And my dreams come true, bro. Not Ada.
Tēnā koe urimu, urimu au. Ai ki te tūtaki kia pai.
It's around the wrong way, is it? I was just looking because it's got like Moscow, Russia, and like South Africa, Nairobi, Swahili, and then our one that's got Auckland.
The idea of going to the Maoris who haven't done a lot of Shakespeare but have this massive enthusiasm for it and passion for it, to bring those different energies to Shakespeare was very much part of what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
You are very welcome to come and join us on the stage. You are hugely welcome. Come in. Come in and come up onto the stage with us.
The globe is about a way of talking to people. I think it's about the fact that everyone's in a shared light, that, you know, the sun streams in the afternoon and we light the audience in the evening, and it's the fact that you have to look people in the eye, and that you can see 1,500 faces from the stage, and you have to talk to 1,500 faces, and they don't disappear into darkness. They're all there and they're all very present. Everyone's watching is a willing collaborator. And it makes it a very emotional space, a very visceral space, and a very imaginative space. You all go on a journey together in there.
And in the name, most of all, of Shakespeare himself, who created this wonderful globe here and who created the connection that there now is between us, we thank the great Rawiri Paratene for putting this glorious company of actors together and for keeping such a strong place in our hearts and for keeping this connection so strong over the years.
We sent you the underlings first. And now the real stars have arrived. So thank you. We feel the warmth of the welcome, and we hope that we can earn the honour. The works of the great man have found their way into our language, and it's only the beginning.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm really pleased to be here.
So we're pleased to be
You're a
here.
good speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Great.
Yeah, that's the trap. When you're using the white. Yeah, and
we always wanted the first play to be from New Zealand. You know, they've made this journey of thousands and thousands of miles, and so it seemed right to let them have first crack at it.
The important things that we needed to take note of today was the overlapping and transitions, to ensure that we're topping on our lyrics, to make sure that we connect with each other, and making sure that we can move, you know, to face and connect with the audience. But a lot of it is just up to each individual cast member, because it's about them and how they explore their character. So when there's new thoughts, gear changes in their script, you know, that they're driving it, if there's important messages that they put out into the power spots on the stage. There's a lot of things to think of, but just trying to make it become a bit natural.
All of you, the kids, need to watch what the old fella's up to. Okay, so play off each other. That's going to help your connection.
E mātawana kia koe patokihi. Ka ti patokihi. Ka pehea koe.
Ko koe te mea e mātawana.
Me and Kimo have kind of over-rehearsed our scene. Like, the surprise kiss, I know when it's coming, and I can't, if I know when it's coming, I can't act surprised. And for some reason, I kind of feel like I need to just back off, you know, kind of just, let's just give our scene a bit of a rest.
I'm freaking out. There's, 2 more days left. I reckon I still got a few scenes where I need to sharpen up on, so at the moment I'm scared. Hopefully by Friday that scary feeling will turn into a nervous excitement. But yeah, at the moment I'm just low-key freaking out. But get the bite there now.
I'm still not thinking in the reo, and so if I go wrong, for example, I'm lost.
Oh shit, I'm totally gone.
If I go wrong when we're in English, and I've gone wrong on Shakespeare, and I've been able to improvise, to ad-lib in iambic pentameter, and even with a rhyming couplet that Shakespeare didn't write. But I am not capable of that kind of save in te reo.
Far we on tomorrow, far. And all I can think about is that it's Shakespeare's birthday. Maori cast creating history. It's us. We're gonna do it.
Transformation to tea.
Someone died in the
Yeah, just can't wait to get on the stage tonight. I just hope it doesn't piss down hard tonight, because it looks like it's going to rain.
Shakespeare's birthday and dead day. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But right now I'm just thinking about making sure I get my hair done on time.
Scary that he died on his birthday.
Well, that's pretty good coordinating, I think.
Yeah, but
you know.
So,
yeah.
20 past 6. Getting a freaking puharo done.
Yeah. Jumbo, jumbo, way.
My legs too muscly.
Oh, it's the angle, bro.
Sorry, brother.
That one, I'll take that one. Look at the tops. Too cool.
I put in mind some of my own tupuna. I spoke to them, I spoke to my mother, my father, my grandparents, asked them to come and help me, and I'm sure the whole cast were doing that with their own respective tupuna as well. It's not the first time I've done that when I'm feeling like shit before an opening night. So yeah, I don't like to rely on them, but I believe in them.
How could I miss it? How could I miss it? It's Shakespeare in Rawiri Maori in the Globe Theatre. It's probably the most important. We've got to protect the language as much as we possibly can and celebrate it. And I can't see any better celebration than this.
Troilus and Cressida and Maori, I couldn't miss it really. And at the Globe, in the rain, what's more, brilliant.
Ooh. Yeah.
Anei, tō manawa, e tako tōne. O wawa, o ko iwi. Ko mate, te tagata nui nei a hia kita. Ia ai kiri. Ko mate mai. Hei te wāhi ngaro, tiko mai te uru tā o te aro, ki kau e tōro a hea ta mātua whakangaro mara ki te kore. Tū tonu mai e te kāinga taupu, o e te hamo pangu nunui, e kore tāia e te whenua, te wehe tō tāua maua. Ki te pa!
Feeling awesome, bro. It's sad that the journey's gonna end. Hopefully we get a bit of a spin-off and we just carry on.
E rua marama ke nei,
ka puta tapu o haki. Kia tae ki taua wā. Ko tāku he kimi roa. Kia pai ake te tuku. Aku ma te pai pai. Kia koutou.
It's incredible, right, that a play written in the West Midlands of England can go right to the other side of the world and work like that. I mean, a kind of miracle.
Ke whakahoki atu te mana ki te wāhi e tikan. Ke whakarite tātou. Tāna whakahono rei a tātou mai rāno I te kāinga tai no mai ki tēnei wa. It's hard to say how you feel. I think at the end you take all the compliments you've been given, you've earned them, and they've been paid in all so many different ways. I mean, one of the best, I think, came from one of the most recognized masters of Shakespeare. The words that he used were very earthy, and if that doesn't take you to a place when a man who is a master of his craft turns to you and says, "You people have fucked it up for the rest of England. They will never touch this play for another 10 to 20 years until everybody else has forgotten how you people have done it." That's a compliment beyond anything anybody can run. So, me mihi a tātou tamariki te hunga katoa I haere mai runga I tēnei hi koe. Tō tātou reo, o tātou mātua, o tātou tūpuna, e tika ana rātou kia tū whakahihi I runga I ngā mea katoa I tae a rātou mokopuna. Te roanga o te rā o te pō ngau kia tū mai ni.
40 years ago, I walked behind Hana Te Hemara as she carried a petition about our reo into Parliament. And I was one of the ones who walked on with her. And that was all about our reo. And now, 40 years on, here we are at the Globe celebrating our reo. Our reo is still in trouble. And still got a lot of work, but the punishment that my parents got for speaking the reo in the playground, the anguish that we all felt in the early 70s about whether it would survive, is all worth it, and that's what it's always been about for me. Nā tātou katoa te reo. Kia mau, kia au, kia ora. Oh, amen.
If it wasn't for Rawiri opening those doors, we would never have been there. I told him this morning before we started at breakfast that he had to have a new dream, because his last dream was to take some Māoris onto the Globe stage, and we've done that now. So got to have something new. And who knows what that might be.
see more of New Zealand on air. Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.